Top one. We're just going to look at the top. This is what's hot. Let's go. As New World falls below 2% of its population peak, the original game director, Gilmore, has been proven right. The spine of the game is player versus player combat. This right here, I don't know if that's 100% what was said by that person, but I do agree. I think it is 100%, the spine of the game is 100% PvP. I think, don't get me wrong, I know there are people who like the trade skills and the PvE and stuff, but I really do think that, the core player base, the people that stick around, are the people that really enjoy the PvP combat. And especially the wars. And I'm not just saying that because I shoutcast wars, but I really think that this is a point, at least as a blatant statement. I would say that, at least from what I've heard, it's not necessarily a lot of the PvE players that are like, I'm going to stick around forever. A lot of people are that are staying are going to be PvP players, because I personally love the combat of this game. Before AGS reworked the game, this is what he said: the spine of the game is player versus player. Amazon can't compete in the theme park. Yeah, I'm telling you, I think they should just make this a PvP game. Like, I don't see a problem with that at this point. But I don't know. The spine of the game, player versus player combat, you'll probably be murdered in New World. So yes, players will be able to freely kill their players. But we have numbers of systems like Sanctuary and Criminal Justice, which add interesting consequence and drama to that experience. I can realize that as a constant press of danger was fundamental to the thrill of the game. Make New World a peaceful world would deprive players of stakes and drama of trying to forge a new life and uncaring for the supernatural wilderness. That's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I personally do remember whenever I was leveling up in New World, there, I actually I never played without my PvP toggled on. I never played without it. I always played with PvP. Always, consistently. I thought it was so exciting that I'd be playing with my brother, and I was playing with my brother at the time. I thought it was so exciting that I could be sitting here playing with my brother, and then we're both, we're on the same faction, and we're hanging out, and then all of a sudden it's, oh god, we got guys on us and we're fighting for our life. There was something about that thrill that was so exciting. Personally, though, I do enjoy the PvP. There isn't any real PvE content for those players to stick around for. Not necessarily arguing that PvP isn't the spine of the game, but if it is, it's pretty, lonely spine. Yeah, I think that, Riddle, I agree. I see what you're saying. I think that does speak to something, though, about, unfortunately, the state of New World at the moment. The spine of New World at the moment is a little rough. It's a little rough around the edges. And I think there's definitely ways to save it, though. I'm not a pessimist whenever it comes to New World and stuff. I like to try and keep the optimism out there. I think there's a lot of things that can still happen with the game that can change it. Oops. Let me go back here. I don't think all the changes they made were bad. Factions were smart, for example, and I had some fun for sure. But I was given an invite to the early alpha when the game was still NDA. They turned New World from something special, if rough, to something mostly generic. I don't know if I fully agree with that. Personally, I don't think factions are necessarily smart. I'm not a big fan of the factions. I'm a firm believer in that. I'm not a big fan of factions, actually. At least seeing the way, I think at first I was, but seeing the way it developed over time, I think factions actually make New World harder, in my opinion, for people to get into it. At least as a common player, I think factions make the entry a little bit harder, because some factions are dead, and just the way it goes, it just, I don't know, sometimes it doesn't feel good. A lot of open world PvE is irrelevant due to lack of level skilling in open world. Yeah, a lot of enemies that drop legendary epic gear that can't be used in game. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think one of the things that other MMOs like RuneScape, Midker, they did, dude. Blokes do looking hot. No, Faith. I had faith in you guys. I think both companies are solid. I think one thing, though, that if you look at RuneScape, I'm going to compare a lot to RuneScape and World of Warcraft, because those are the two biggest MMOs that I've played. Is about the named NPCs and stuff, dropping specific gear. That's something that I look forward to, right? Like when you kill something in RuneScape, you're like, I don't care if I got to kill this 70 to 1,000 times. I want this drop. And there's something special about that when you get it. Unfortunately, with the way things are so randomized in New World, it doesn't feel as special. And yes, you can get things from like, from dungeons and stuff, but just open world wise, there is that lacking for sure. There's no factions. One meg company can control the entire map. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, factions do prevent that, Maddie, but I think it still happens regardless. Like we see it happen. Like I've seen it happen plenty of times. Even one company on faction or on one faction can. Raffle Bones for sure. Yeah, Raffle Bones is something. But you got to remember though, that's newer, and it wasn't there first. And especially when the population was booming, this is something. It's like when the population was booming, these are things that weren't in the game at the moment. One thing that I do want to talk, Maddie, for a second about the mega company controlling the map. People still do that on one faction, and the other factions just get decimated. And I think that you could solve it just by adding a max, You know what I mean? Just make sure that if you can't make any shell companies. I think shell companies were a big thing. I remember whenever my company tried to make it a shell company, we were super nervous. There was rumors going around like, oh, if you make shell companies, then you might get banned. And that never happened. So everybody just kept making shell companies. No one just saw the issue of companies taking over servers. Yeah, one war, one invasion a day. Interesting, Tanetta. Trying to get absolute terra. Spent 22 hours duping. Really? Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you can definitely. I don't mind spinning the grind though. I don't mind grinding for some stuff though. Like for instance, again though, I play a lot of RuneScape and WoW, so I could do the same dungeon like 7 times. It's just about things feeling rewarding at the end of the day. Like when you get that piece, how does it feel on your power level? How does it make you feel? Does it make you feel like you really ranked up? You got some shit like I got bad luck too, dude. I got bad luck too. If you go to faction, we'll probably see an even smaller group of people getting in wars. Yeah, I guess I see that argument too, Fellblades. I guess I do, because more like if one company has just the absolute gods, everybody would be trying to slot them as much as possible. So I could see that. Yeah, 100%. That is one of the arguments. Evan Scale War Scoreboard. Let's check it out. Let's hope this ain't a virus. I'm kidding, 5. I know you want to do that to me. Europe, let's go, man. 34-0. What a beast. Europe, you're an animal. 5, you're a legend. My goodness. They gutted the risk and danger of the world, so many options to balance and limit PvP they never tried. Factions alone would have provided natural safe areas for players. They hurt combat by removing staggers on hits. If you want a detailed discussion about this, they heavily cut the purpose and meaning behind gathering and crafting by constantly throwing weapon drops at players. Removing gear skins. This only really killed me, as so many other players enjoy the gathering and crafting, yet there's literally no reason to craft anything below max gear score. I can see that argument about there's no reason to craft anything below max gear score. I can see that argument. I think so. One thing I could think of whenever I think about this is in World of Warcraft. It's kind of like this, where you would see like max level characters running around doing running around and doing lower level dungeons, simply because they want a specific drop. Like for instance in Shadowfang, you want the Shadowfang or Assassin's Blade because it sells for a lot. And the way it works is because the twinks who are level like 19, they make it happen. Like those players who are built to not max level past that, it's like that is how it goes, So it's like they're, you could craft stuff and get good drops because of the way Battlegrounds works and the way the player is built around the PvP for that. New World should start a new fresh server where you can't transfer in to leave faction, add cooldown to add company after leaving one, add a limit of 1 attack, 1 defense each day for each player. That'd be cool, Jose. I think that wouldn't be bad. It's so hard not to be a warlogger at this stage of the game. Yeah, Enac. Yeah, Enac. That's what we're running into. And that's what we're running into at the moment. A lot of people are just warlogging, and it's like, how do we fix that? You know, and I feel like, you know, the community definitely has a lot of good ideas. I really think it does. I mean, obviously it comes down to the devs, but I think, you know, there is ways around it. I think it would just take dramatic change, a big update and a lot of change. I think change is good at this point. I think what you have is not sustainable at the moment, which is obvious, which is fine. But I think having some change is going to be good. Do something crazy. People want more, want to war more, not less. You cap that, more people will leave. That's true, Akapon, because the core player base, man, they just want a war. You know what I mean? Like the ones left, they're the ones who, I mean, we do have PvE players, but the people who are left are really the players who are like really wanting to do wars. I'm not kidding. I'm not just saying that. Warlogging is still close to everyday players playing. Yeah. They can prevent one company to get a territory. Yeah, it's a hard balance. You know. It really is. Just the way it's designed. AGS are improving things, but I don't see why they could be doing current framework to meaningfully revive the game. What is the offer that's unique or special? Just great graphics and audio, which I do love the graphics and audio. This is a good point. I gotta say, the graphics and audio of New World is fantastic. It's fantastic. I love the graphics and audio. I'll give it to New World for that. I note that New World was never full loot, despite that being a common myth. You're up to inventory only, not gear, when you're using it, even if that can never become turned down without PvP. I'm not saying New World should have been the most hardcore game out there, but it could have been. You know, it's funny that they're saying this. We saw a trend in the beginning of New World 2 turn into, we had like Iron Mans, like people were doing like Iron Mans from RuneScape, and I think New World is as close to RuneScape than it is any other MMO. I know that sounds weird to say, but by the way the crafting works and the vibe of it, I've always got a RuneScape feel, and that might be why I like the game so much. I feel like it's so close. I just feel like it's like an updated RuneScape. Like if they took this in the direction of old school RuneScape, I could seriously see it be successful. Except for more wilderness. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel like add more wilderness, make it more of like a PvP old school RuneScape, but with the graphics and audio they have, I could see it being amazing. I don't know why I've always gotten that vibe from this game. Gameplay loop in New World is passable for the first 20 levels. Yeah. Once you hit level 60, it doesn't do anything. Yeah. Yeah, it's 100%, man. It's cool because I remember when I was leveling, I thought it was dope. I was leveling and like I'd pick an herb and it'd be like plus XP, and I think the sound effect audio cues were like dopamine hits. I'm like, this is awesome. But now it's like, you know, you don't get XP. The crafting doesn't mean too much. You know, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to say where they can go from here. I wonder what some of the comments say. Oh, this is a mod. Yeah, I'm going to hammer you down on context here because that doesn't align with the text. Oh, I don't know. Let's see here. The problem with New World is very punishing for people who did not grind and are in-game bis equipped. I can see that argument. I can see this argument here. I can kind of see this argument where if I was a new player, getting into wars is almost impossible. The problem in New World at the moment is it's gatekeeping. It's gatekeeping a lot of new players from seeing the best content, which I think is the wars. I think the best content is the wars. You know what I mean? I mean, I think that's very obvious, but I mean, at the end of the day, the best content is the wars. And, you know, whenever you gatekeep that, like for instance, let's see what it says. I played New World for 3 months, 10 hours a day, and then expertise came and I lost interest. I tried to get back recently, but me having to grind all that expertise now from scratch after a couple updates is, yeah. To compare in WoW, for instance, when a new content is released, the equipment you receive has the same item level for everyone, even if you played the patch or expensive before. You don't have to grind back all that. Yeah, to sum up, I wish they make it PvP. Skip out on the content in New World. Dude, I don't know, man. It's interesting. I actually agree with what this commenter says here a little bit. I actually agree a little bit with what this commenter says. The bottom line is there isn't enough to do with 95% of the population. If you are not seen as a good player at this stage of the game, there's a chance you get into wars literally zero. Yeah, perps, I agree with that. And you know what's funny? That's why I try and shout out as much as I can. Hey, 5, thank you so much for the resub. Thank you. It's not too bad of a grind. They made it much easier. I actually agree, 5. It is easier than where it was. You think War is best content because it's only PvP with real stakes, or just gameplay it makes? I think it's something for me, and this is me personally. Thank you, Vega. Thank you. This is me personally. But I think now I seriously want you guys to take. I want you guys to seriously sit down for a second and think about this. Remember the moment that you guys were in your first war. Seriously, I'm not kidding. Seriously, sit here, focus, and remember the moment that you guys got into your first war. Wasn't it so exciting? You felt like not only everything was on the line, you had so much thrill. You had so much adrenaline. You felt that energy going in. And you know why? Because not only was stuff on the line, but it was a beautiful mix of things being on the line and the fact that it's 50v50. I think there's something about that mass battle. That mass battle of just like, fuck yeah, I'm going in, dude. I'm going in. And, it's like you get the war paint on and you're yelling in the Discord. Like, it's like there's something about that. And that's what really inspired me to make this stream. Like that energy, that excitement that is built from it. It's beautiful. And I think that, there's something about that that's special. And I think you can still have it this day. It's just harder to get. You know what I mean? It still is, and I'm 100%. Yeah, me too, Yogi. I'm the exact same. It was dope. Yeah, dude. First one was a slideshow. Okay, aside from maybe some of the lag and the aside from some of the lag and some of the things like that. Some of the bugs. It was fun right up until the back. Oh, dude. It was exciting. Dude, you guys, I'll show you guys real fast. I made a little YouTube video about that. Hold up. I made a song about that, actually. It may not be a good best, but I called it Spaghetti Code. I don't know if you guys have heard this. Probably not. But I literally made a song about the Spaghetti Code. Hold up. I just want to...
Blank Beats Production.
It's not the best, but like it's something.
Spaghetti Code.
This is when I had my I was using this mic, so it sounds a little bad.
Bots are selling gold.
Bag, I get
getting old.
But
Spaghetti Code. Spaghetti Code.
Again, it was my mic. It could have been better. I thought it's not that bad.
Months ago, hatchet glitch, one shot, what is this? OPR wasn't lit, here's more, don't forget. Fire staff machine guns, haste pot, speed runs, void, gauntlet, range, lunge. What have these devs done? Beta testers, we're beta testers. Games is Bears, Bezos, head, Uncle Lester. Billionaire man, only thinking about his cheddar. Exploits and bugs, games only getting deader. Now don't get me started on that UI. Chop these devs up like potatoes, make these dudes fry. Who the hell is Willie? I'm that fucking new guy. Misses to your girl's avatar, watch you fools cry. Shots. Spaghetti Code. Amazon Studios. Bots are selling gold. The shit is getting old. Spaghetti Code.
I made this. This was months ago. I just remember Spaghetti all the lag in it. Oh.
I should hop off this track and do some mutators, right? Get gear and grind some expertise levels, right? But I'm making content that real people like. Say my shit is cringy, we'll get in a fight. But Amazon was next, MH take a rest. Shout out little Ricky Mans came to contest. I'ma put this shit to rest, just doing my best. Cause New World's a mess, New World's a mess. Now let's talk about these wars. Section 8, living cause the experience is real poor. Moving bug glitches, it's impossible to ignore. Every new patch, new bugs to explore. And I play every day, 1,000 hours, accolades. Amazon, please fix your game. Fix your game. Spaghetti
This
Code.
is Little Willy Origins.
Amazon Studios. Bots are selling gold.
This is Little Willy Origins,
The shit
guys.
is getting old.
This is like some of the. This is what kind
Spaghetti
of
Code.
some people started to know me from
Spaghetti
in the
Code.
beginning. Was just some of these little silly songs I was
Spaghetti
doing.
Code.
Blank Beats Production.
But yeah, that's just I made some of these things, but yeah, it's interesting though. It's funny that we talk about it's funny that we talk about we're talking about things and about the link. Yeah, sure, dude. Yeah, actually, it's in my YouTube. Just check it out, man. I got more songs as well, dude. I got more songs as well. I've been loving this game and making content for this game for a while. Love that. Awesome, man. Section 11 because the conditions are real poor. Love that. Hey, dude, I'm trying. Look, I don't have a production though. You know what I mean? Like that was just me on a mic. But hey, it is what it is. I do it for fun. The days when people steal 100K for buying Tether is a big thing. Yeah, right, love. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting to think about the bugs and stuff. I do like how far we've came, though. Let's see what's up next, though. Possibly a new expedition entrance. Had to do a lot of block jumping on the slide to the rocks to get up there, but was surprised to see this building had a random entrance. A company member told me it had the smoky expedition entrance at one point. Thank you, King. I appreciate that, dude. Whoa. A little bit of the graphics went to potato. Okay, so they're saying potential expedition entrance. I don't know. Where is this? I wonder if he's going to pull up his map. I would like to see where this is at. I mean, it could be, but also, okay, he does do it. Okay. That is a big area, though. Holy crap. That is a big area to just have. And it's on the map for a reason. I wonder if it's going to be like a teleporter room. That's a big obelisk. I wonder if it's going to be like a teleporter room or something. Maybe if we get new zones. That'd be kind of cool. Fabulous. Look at those. What are those? What are those? What are those, dude? Damn, Daniel. Back at it again with the ballerina shoes with the bows. What is going on? Pixels, yeah, we'll get back out of it. Foster check. You're probably right, man. Jordan 10s with his. Man, that's some drip. That is some drip. That is some good drip there. You love to see it, man. It's pretty nice. Congrats on that, too. Congrats on that, dude. Love seeing some PvE boys coming in hot. Champion jewelry not working. Oh, no. Oh no, guys. Base damage 1600. Oblivion on enemy plus 0. Oh, man. Not good. When I was a game tester, I did stuff like this a whole lot. Malicious, yeah, we just did 2. Right now we're going through some Reddit posts, chatting it out, talking a little bit. To be honest, just hanging out, man. How are you doing tonight, Malicious? Base damage 1330. Expected damage. This is what I mean by this is what I mean when I say in that Spaghetti Code song, I said we're beta testers. That's kind of what I mean a little bit. That's not how that works. Maybe not. I don't know. Not bad. Good to hear, man. I'm not quite sure how that 100% works, to be honest. A lot of people really are out here trying to beta test things. He's not testing it right. He'll get wrecked. I wonder what the comments say. My dude is playing RuneScape HD. Yo, we were just talking about RuneScape. My dude's playing RuneScape HD. Hey, it's Zaishina. Oh, wait, Zaishina says it's been on the bug weeks for a list acknowledged by the fire staff. Deep fried New World. Legit thought this was Valheim. I don't want to test it myself. Hey, man, I'll leave that to the professionals. Yeah, Lovey, 100%. Does New World need a Realm Reborn? I had to ask when we consider who attempted. Anthem attempted this only to can the project. Oh, I see what he's saying. Final Fantasy got world first for rebuilding their product. I think most would agree that it was a major success. True. Whilst New World has a lot going for it, I can't help but wonder what a Realm Reborn would look like for New World. I think a Realm Reborn would piss off your core player base at this point. You know what I mean? I think a Realm Reborn at the moment would really make your core player base like if everybody just lost all their best pieces, all these players who are playing in war and stuff. I think everybody would freak out. I think people would be super mad. I couldn't see that being a benefit. I keep saying it's really silly. There's no Realm Reborn for New World. It only works for Final 15 because Final 15 is one of the most popular long-running games. True. Built on loyal fan base. I demonstrated New World by success. Once things hit live, it takes months to feed Dragon and screaming up the hills. Yeah, 100% love. I agree, man. I mean, the amount of grinding that I did to get my expertise up and to get some of these pieces, I think most people, if there was a Realm Reborn like this, I think most people would quit. Like, there's no way they would want to be sticking around. Like, I just couldn't imagine that. As a magic bullet type at the now time since a massive surge popularity last year, forgetting that it's only ever worked once. Yeah, I don't think it's a good thing. I don't think that's something. How bad was the ice spike for so long too? Yeah, that's true, Akapon. Ice Spike made me quit for 2 months, dude. Ice Spike was insane, dude. That ability was nuts. I wanted to get back into New World. Any active companies and NA servers? Guess he's just looking around. Oh no. Discussion. Can this game truly make a comeback, guys? Look at this. Man, you guys remember when it had 900K? What would you do to bring people to the game? Yeah, Jaybird. It's interesting. I think I first off would be focusing 100% on PvP. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, real fast. I think I love this game for the PvP, and I'm a PvE player. In World of Warcraft, I never PvP. But this game, there was something special about the PvP, even with all the bugs and stuff. I would release something like, for instance, I would have a big content update. I would make it be like, for instance, introduce 2 or 3 new zones and make it like RuneScape. It's wilderness zones. You do all of its PvP. You are not allowed to flag up. You have to go unflagged. And that would give, I know that sounds crazy, but like, I don't know, that would be, I know it would be nuts, but obviously revamping some things like that, getting new zones that are just PvP focused, honing in on the PvP, making wars more available, getting more PvP stuff. Like battlegrounds, things like this. I think Outpost Rush is okay, but it's just not enough. And then with arenas, it's dope. Arenas is dope, but it needs a ranked. I think if you did ranked arenas, that'd be awesome. And do it cross realm. I know that's hard, but ranked arenas would be amazing. And then on top of that, I think even ranked Outpost Rush things, like I think having an incentive and then something to grab at, but the thing is, I think that's important for players, and especially for PvP. You want that that goal. You know what I mean? You want that drive. They're going to do that kind of zones, but it'll be a while. That'd be amazing. Making wars more available. I agree, Ouija board. I think wars being more available 100%. Arenas and OPR sucks. Yeah, the reason why it sucks, Jim, I think, is because if you there's no rank, so you could be queuing up with your buddies like, hey, let's do some arenas, and you face like a 3-stack from the top company, and you just get decimated. It's like, oh my god. Capture the flag, dude. I've been saying that for a while. Capture the flag is needed. Capture the flag is needed. I think a Warsong Gold style would be amazing for New World. Server map would be pseudo-ranked ladders. Top players should go for the big hubs. The smaller territories being ranked training grounds. Yeah, for sure. I agree, Love. I think that'd be a good idea. I think they need PvP only zones and get rid of factions and make guild v guild. You know, yeah, Jaybird, I agree with that. I'm a big fan of getting rid of factions. I agree. Yeah, training wars, I agree, Jim. Training wars would be amazing. Well, you know, why could you not, with a company, queue up? Like, have some type of agreement where, hey, if you get 50 people in queue and you get 50 people in queue, we can just go for a war simulation. I mean, I know that'd be a lot on the server, but, like, that would be awesome. And it would be real war practice because, you know, oh, yeah, this is one thing. Guys. I got to say something real fast while I'm talking about it. One thing that is absolutely needed. The biggest thing that is needed, the way you get a war. I think the first thing I would change, if New World got me in a dev meeting and they asked me, Willie, what is the first thing you want to change? What is the very first thing we should change? I would say find a way to make wars not so damn hard to grind for. Doing the quests suck. The influence pushes suck. Like, that's just facts. Like, nobody likes doing it. I have not met a single person that's like, I can't wait to run the same missions for 5 hours straight to get a war. You know what I mean? The PV, like, it's like, why? You're gatekeeping the best content. I'm passionate about this because I was a company leader. And you guys, I had to make incentives for my company to even push a damn territory. We all wanted wars, but I literally had to pay my company members to push territory. Like, because everybody was like, this is ass. And it's like, and it's like, dude, that's the number one thing. Change that. If Wars is the best content, then make it fun to make happen. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know, man. I'm on a bit of a rant right now, but it's like, make it happen. Like, if Wars is the best content we have, then why on earth is making a war happen the most unfun content in the game? You see what I'm saying? It's like, why? It's the best content. Make it fun to make happen. Even if it's just like in the territory. Let's say today Windsward, I don't know, this is spitballing. Let's say today Windsward is going to have, anybody can declare on Windsward, guys, today in these 2 hours, it's King of the Hill. It's random pockets across the whole Windsward territory, and companies defend areas. And stuff. And whoever controls the most pockets or something or whatever, again, it's spitballing. Just something exciting. That would be cool. Could you imagine? Like every other day a territory is just like, all right, King of the Hill down. Who's gonna take this territory? And companies go out and defend land on the territories to try and declare a war. And if they get enough King of the Hill caps, then they get to declare. Like, that would be fun. I know they couldn't handle that. I know the game engine couldn't, but again, I'm just spitballing, right? I'm just trying to think of creative, fun ways that something could happen. Because right now, I think that's one of the biggest draws, is the fact that server would crawl. You're probably right. Outposts being claimable by companies would be lit. Yeah, dude. Replace Bezos with Willie. I'm just saying, if you're watching this one day, just let us know. This is a possible direction we can work towards one day. Yeah, for sure. The fort is under. Yeah, Willie, what about every day you have to defend the fort from open world attacks, 4 to 8, to hold your territory? I don't think that's bad. I think that might be putting a little too much into the company, though. I feel, you know what I mean? Trying to get people for 30 minutes to an hour for a war every day can kind of be taxing sometimes, and not everybody can commit to that. So I think that might be a little too long of a time period, but I don't see why not. I understand. Also, you need to change the way forts buff. Like, the fort buffs, they're almost meaningless at this point. Like, make the forts on the land worth wanting to take. You know what I mean? Like this, and that's what I mean when I say that New World should really become a little more PvP focused. That's what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. New World needs to be more PvP focused. Look at your mechanics that are for PvP, that the reason why people are playing this game. I've had so many. I remember whenever New World first came out, I was excited to do open world PvP and push the fort and like claim the fort and stuff. But the problem is, it's like, why not this? Why not this? If you cap a fort, That's like 30, that's like 25% influence on your influence. Boom, instantly. If defenders lose the fort, boom. As soon as the fort opens, this territory is up and ready to be claimable. If a company takes that fort, 25% influence drop down on the bar. You know what I mean? Something to make things more, beneficial. Something to make things more worth it for doing PvP content. Like, the PvP is where it's at. I don't think PvE is the direction for New World. I really don't. And I think if these content drops have shown anything, I think that's true. You know, I think the newest dungeon is beautiful. Like, the new dungeon is beautiful, guys. But it's just not enough. It's just not enough. You know what I mean? I think the new dungeon is amazing. It's beautiful. I think the gear there is pretty good too. But it's like, it's not enough. It's the PvP. We need to focus on the PvP. And I'm not saying that because I'm the shoutcaster of wars, right? But I'm serious. You know what I mean? What if they just made it a bidding war for the wars instead of pushing influence? I wouldn't like that, Tanetta, because the people that have more money would always be coming out on top. And I don't know. Melee combat is more taxing on traditional MMO players than tab targeting. Yeah, I agree. 100% love. I see that. The little... Imagine an influence system that lets everybody go in the open world actually work towards a war declare. Yeah, for sure. What if influence ticked up every time a player, like, you don't even got to be part of I mean, I guess that would defeat the purpose. But what if influence ticked up if you're part of a company when you got a kill in a territory that was contestable? It went towards the influence. Why not? Why not? If Marauders hold Windsward and they die in Windsward, and a Covenant player gets the kill, why should that not tick towards influence? And that would incentivize more people playing with PvP on open map. And what if you own the territory? You had to be in PvP. It's your land, you got to defend it, right? Wouldn't that make sense? I think that'd be dope. If you own a territory, if this is your faction's territory, you're on defense, bud. Like, you know, the way I look at New World when I came into it, it was like a Game of Thrones. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a Game of Thrones, like, you know, the north and the south and the east. It's like, all you guys fighting together. It's like, I don't know. I just think there's so many innovative ways you could go that would make the dynamic interesting than where we're at the moment. You know what I mean? I just really do. I really believe that. But yeah, I don't know. I think, again, I know I got on a little rant there. I apologize, guys. They don't have an arrow missing from the DPS meter. People who beg for DPS meters for the party were the MMO RPG crowd. Yeah, I remember a lot of people really wanted a mini-map. Strongholds across all the maps, one per, and you need to capture it. Yeah, Lipsa, I think that's a great idea. There's so many good ideas that I think they could implement. I like the way Guild Wars did their PvP. How so, Razor? Only 2 factions can participate? Yeah. I don't know. Again, there's just so many innovative ways, man. I just think it starts with the PvP. It starts with the PvP. It has to. Like, I feel like it has to start with the PvP. Whatever content they come out with next, it should be heavily PvP focused. Heavily PvP focused. I mean, that's my opinion, right? Obviously, I don't have, I'm not, I don't have the indisputable, absolutely just best opinion out there. But I really do think the PvP is what drives this game. And I don't see why you wouldn't be making content for it, you know. They think they're done with PvP for now? I hope not. It would make me so hard. Hey, Galvinox. Hey, yo. Galvinox. Hey, yo. Some Kappa prize in the chat. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Hey, man. I'll take that dub, dude. I'll take that dub. They released a PvP track system. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's bad, but it's like, I just don't know if it's enough. PvP track. Yeah, like, exactly, love. Yeah, it's like, I just don't think it's enough, man. Yeah, like, I remember I was super excited when Umbral Shards was coming out for OPR, and then I actually started doing that, and I was like, okay, it takes me 20 minutes, or at the time, it took me like 10 minutes to get into an OPR. The OPR would last like roughly 20 to 30 minutes, and then I get like 60 Umbral Shards. It's like, it's just not rewarding enough. We need to feel rewarded for what we do. And also, I think it's super weird that you got to be 60 to experience any of the PvP stuff. Like take a tip from World of Warcraft. Like, you know, you have level 20 battlegrounds, you have level 30 battlegrounds. Like, these players who are coming in and feeling unincentivized, they might not even try to do PvP because they don't know about it. But like, if you gave them some content, they might be like, oh wow, this is cool. This is cool. Maybe I want to. Maybe they queue up for a battleground, and arena isn't level 60. Oh, it's not. I didn't know that. What level? I've only seen 60s. Or is it not possible to queue up against others who aren't 60? Arena starts at 20? Oh, cool. Then that's good on them. That's my mistake. I figured, I was like, hey, maybe I've been queuing up. Well, hey, all right. Well, then that's good for them. I respect that. Then I take that back. But how long are the queues though? It's just unfortunate. That's the thing. It's so late. It's so late. If that was happening on release, bro, could you imagine? See some of the things from the Rust come over, like a giant excavator on the cargo ship. That's interesting. 2 level 20s chasing down a level 60 downpour. Yeah, Tanetta. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. Like, it sucks, man. It just sucks. But I will say though, like, I know we're talking all this negativity right now, and I'm a bit of a positive person. I'm not trying to say anything bad about New World. I love New World, and I love the community especially. And seeing this sucks. Let's talk about this. I've kind of just been rambling about some things, but guys, look at this. All-time peak 913,000. Oh my goodness. And now we're getting to just 19,000. It's rough. It's rough, man. It's rough. You know, we are out here though. You know, I say that a lot, but we really are out here. We're out here, man. We're trying to bring some fun to it. The 30-day too. Let's check this out. Yeah, 30 days. So over here in October we had 913. November, this is acceptable, right? This is a big jump down, but you're going to see a lot of people start playing. It's new, fancy, it's only $40, and then they're going to be like, okay, it's not my style. But you can see it's pretty much getting in half again the next month. And then boom, January. And it just keeps going, dude. It doesn't stop. It does look like it's stabilizing a little bit, though. It does look like, though. I mean, if you take a look at it, it looks like it has slight stability. They're actually seeing growth here. I think this was the content drop, though. Because of lack of content, yeah. I think those duping and what not got a ton of players banned. Yeah, Razor, it really did. Yeah, December to July was expertise. Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. And take a look where we're at now. Last 30 days, we're at 23. It is dropping significantly. It is still dropping significantly, and you hate to see it, man. Again, I got nothing but love. Oh, man, Galv, that hurts to say. But I will say, though, I love the cosmetics, though, in New World. I think they have good cosmetics. I know that sounds like, you know... your shop looks great. It's not necessarily good, but expertise killed the game. I agree, dude. I hate expertise. I hate expertise with a passion. I never understood. I was like, why do I have to grind expertise? This is so dumb. It's like you're time gating me. I don't think one thing, and I talked about this before. The cosmetics are meh. I actually like them. One thing I talked about before, and this is, now guys, I want you guys to remember too. Now I'm going to take you guys back again. Remember when you guys first got into a city? Remember when you first walked into the main city? Now, I've been playing MMOs my whole life. Didn't it feel like, yes, it was really player driven. You saw a lot of players. But were you a little taken aback by the NPCs and lack thereof? It was like the NPCs were all sitting down. There was nobody walking around. The interactions were horrible with them. It's like, I think a thing in an MMO, you want to make it feel alive. And it's like the NPCs did not do that. Like, Why can I not be on a quest and find a guy fighting in a wolf cave? Why can't I be on a quest and I'm going up and there's a guy fighting in a wolf cave or a guy on the ground and I'm like, all right, well, he's like, this bear took my leg off. And I'm like, okay, I got to go beat that bear up. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't know. It's just, it didn't feel alive. It didn't have that kind of impact. Yeah, NPCs are stationary. Exactly. All of them are just sitting down. It's like even the NPCs are bored. Even the NPCs are bored. They're just hanging out. They're like, damn, I'm just chilling. It's just hard, man. It's like, that liveliness. Expertise shouldn't be a thing. Yeah, I agree. Expertise should not. Need loot boxes? Oh no, D9, don't even, dude. Don't talk about loot boxes, man. Can't even do a quest that have the NPC tell you a story. Exactly, love. Like, what would you replace expertise with? Yeah, mixed nuts. So I would just personally, I would get rid of expertise, and I would replace it with just kind of like I mean personally, again, I think it's more like RuneScape. Make each piece desirable. Don't have expertise. Just make armor and loot and stuff on these new zones and stuff that are RNG drops that you can get. I don't know, and maybe I'm wrong, but just make the pieces decent as they are. And I just think expertise, like, I don't see why you have to, I don't see why you need such a time gating, thing. I think people will be drawn to your game regardless. People go play something else until wartime. Yeah, that's true, Razor. But again, make a piece RNG drops. Make higher RNG drops. Make more open world things. Make more dungeons that have RNG drops to them. Like, for instance, the only time I played the new dungeon was literally when I wanted to get that Warhammer. And once I got the Warhammer, I quit playing it. But it's like, it was too easy to get, in my opinion. I love the grind, dude. I love the grind. You know, man, what on server are you playing? I play on Marama. I play on Marama. They need different perk pools, yeah. So you're saying everyone starts at 600 gear score at 60 and just focus on the stats and gear? Yeah, 100% mixed nuts. 100%, because I think they already got to 60. They don't need another thing to 100% and bust and grind for. And I think you can grind for it in different ways. There's more funner ways to grind for something. And I think that that is what I'm talking about. I really think you can grind for a dope piece that, like, let's say it's a new dungeon that comes out. It's a dope piece. It has a low drop rate, but people will grind for it because they want that piece. Make it obtainable, but don't make it impossible. But the expertise is just not where it's at. It's not fun to grind. You're not getting rewarded for expertise. Now, the things you're grinding, you want to try and see some income for. Now, one thing I think sucks about New World, and I'm sorry I'm not reading chat as much. One thing I think that sucks is it's weird. I've seen other people talk about this, and I want to hit on it too. You can't sell your items to a vendor. One thing about when I'm playing World of Warcraft and RuneScape and stuff is all the weird loot that I get. I'm like, oh cool, I can make a couple gold off of, or oh cool, I can do this with it. But the thing is, because of expertise, nothing sells. Nothing sells. Nobody wants to buy anything because of expertise. Because if it's less than whatever X and it doesn't have the exact right gear, it's hard. It's like nobody wants to buy it. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's weird. It puts you in a weird situation. You know what I mean? Like, I agree. Anyway, I do think the umbral system so that people can whatever they want. Yeah, and still increase gear score. I don't mind the umbral system. Like, give umbrals at the end of dungeons and stuff. I think the expertise is horrible. It's such a bad call. You did 100 runs for Warhammer? Jim, I did. I got it in my first run. I changed salvage to give you a random perk for the item. How much gold sink in New World? Go up so fast if you could sell stuff. Yeah, but I don't think that's the case, Razor. I think the economy would raise with it. That's how economy works. If everybody's selling gold, but I guess I can see what you're saying. I mean, but even if it makes it incremental, just right now it's like it's so weird. You don't sell things at shops. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's something weird about that. It's something weird about that, man. Isn't that weird, guys? Like, I've been playing MMOs my whole life, and isn't it weird that, like, There's no blacksmith. You know what I mean? There's no leather worker that I can talk to and they're like, yes, check out my wares. You know what I mean? Like, isn't there something weird about that? I feel like this game was built for that. You know what I mean? Like, at least, like, going into towns and stuff, like, where's the beefy blacksmith that's, smacking his hammer like, hey, I got some cool armor for you, even if it's newbie stuff. It's just like, I don't know, it's just those small things. Let me sell some things to the blacksmith. Just the salvage named items to resources and you can craft. Yeah, it's not bad mixed. Oh, RNG, yeah. The shard selling is killing players too. Yeah. But that's what happens when you implement these systems without thinking about 100% how the players are going to react. I mean, I remember I was in a group where I was selling runs for mutators, and I was making a lot of money from it. Like, but not everybody was, WoW is dying because of boosting. I see that for sure. Yeah, I play a lot of WoW Classic. And unfortunately, it sucks. You cannot... if you want to level a character, you can either solo quest by yourself or get ran through dungeons. It hurts. It really hurts. At least in WoW Classic, though. This is when the player base is shrinking. Loopholes growing. Ambush tries to keep... Yeah. I don't know, man. It's hard. It's hard to say, but it's unfortunate to see, obviously, where it's at. But again, I'm going to be here for the long haul. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, I got a lot of my... my viewer base is from New World. I love New World. I love the game. I got 1,300 hours played and God knows how many hours shoutcasting and streaming New World. So this game means a lot to me. I just want to see a little bit more from it. And if anybody from New World, I don't know whether you can clip this or not, anybody, I don't know, send it to them if you can, but if anybody from New World wants to, reach out and talk to me, I have a lot of people in the community that come to my stream that I am very much in depth with these late game players. The core of your audience is a lot of my community. And I'm not just saying, I'm not like flexing up here, but that's the truth. Like a lot of the people that are hanging around, that come to the stream and stuff, and I have a lot of new people as well, but a lot of people that come to my stream are a lot of players, like for the shoutcast and stuff, that they're in the wars still. They're still playing the game. And I don't know, like I can try and provide some insight or some opinions. I don't even play like that anymore. I just spend my time building my, going through the game files. 100 hours doing that for the community. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's interesting. It's a hard take, right? Everybody can sit here and spitball ideas, and even myself, I can sit here and be like, this is what they need to do, but realistically, it's going to come down to how the devs approach it. I personally don't want to see the game die. I think it's going to be shoutcasting bots be bots. Don't say that, Instant. This is how I make a living right now. If it wasn't for streaming, I would be working in a factory. I'll be quite honest with you guys. I hope I don't gotta shoutcast bots, but I hope you guys follow me whatever I do though. Like, I really hope you guys will be here for the